Hey, what's up, everybody? This is DJ Recipe again. Today we've got a realistic STA-20 AM/FM stereo receiver. This is a smaller guy, as you can tell by the size from my hand. It's got great sound. Picked this up one for cheap, actually. It was part of a deal that I got with some speakers that I went to pick up, and the guy actually gave this to me for free because he said there was something wrong with it. It's very finicky, so I turned it on. Um, you can hear the balance sometimes doesn't work. The tone's good, but sometimes it's very. I can never really get the left and right speakers going. Right now, it's working, but sometimes it goes in and out. It's kind of sticky. Um, Sometimes I get a signal, and sometimes I don't. So, what I'm going to do today too is I'm going to show you guys how to clean this receiver with some contact cleaner. We're going to get into the knobs. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. And 90% of the time, this is your problem with, if you have any kind of pots that are scratchy, when you tune it, you get a lot of static. Or sometimes you're putting the volume up and you hear popping and just kind of real nasty noise. So, yeah, we're going to get into that. I'm going to open this guy up and then we'll get into it. All right, guys. So one more thing. There's a sticker here that says warning, shock hazard, do not open. So I just wanted to give everybody a little disclaimer warning. Please do this at your own risk. These are the risks that we take and I take, for this hobby, just because I like doing this stuff. So just try to be as safe as you can. Always unplug the unit. You can wait a little bit so the capacitors kind of lose their charge. There's also ways of getting rid of the charge quickly. You can use a rubber handle screwdriver. But I don't need to do any of that stuff because I pretty much wait a while. So yeah, just make sure that you're safe when you're doing this. And I'm gonna get this open. I'm gonna show you guys the areas I'm gonna be spraying. All right, so now that we've got it open, this is the front side here. This is the back side. This unit here only had two screws. There's one here and one here. Most receivers have a top plate that has screws on the sides. So just make sure you check your unit. It usually lifts up and to the back. So you can also find service manuals online, but we don't need that for today. If you ever trying to pull a cover off and something's not moving, don't keep yanking at it. Make sure you review it properly and check if you have screws that you missed. So just a quick overview. There's some capacitors here. You got a fuse back there. That looks okay. You got your tuner section here. There's a LED. So the main areas we're going to be spraying are these potentiometers. These guys here, which are the balance. There's one for the tone in there. So you're gonna find the openings of these, and we're gonna spray contact cleaner, not too much, just a little bit. And once it's sprayed, you're gonna want to turn this back and forth, probably about 30 times, I would say, just to be sure. And then we can repeat that same process for all the other ones here. The short-term name for those are pots. Then you got the switch down there too. Can't really see it in here. Let's see if we can get to it. It's part of this unit here. It's back there. So just make sure when you're spraying, you look at your dials. If there's any kind of sensitive instruments, like if you have a digital display, make sure you're not spraying into those areas. What we're going to do also, we're going to give it a little dust spray. It's pretty dusty in here first. And then, yeah, I'm going to spray over most of the board too, just lightly. And we'll get into the types of contact cleaners and which one to use and which ones I am going to use. So, yep, let's get into it. Bye. All right, everyone. So before we get into this cleaning and contact cleaner stuff, there's two essential tools that I want to talk to you about. And this is what I use to clean my amps or any kind of electronics that I buy. One of the most useful tools you can buy is a paintbrush. You can get these from the dollar store. Get the ones with the angled bristles, very soft. And as you're doing this, have a vacuum beside you, a shop vac or whatever, and as you're dusting, just kind of keep the vacuum right beside it. This is a great tool, guys. I clean my car with this, in the inside. Um, any kind of dust around my console, my air vents, my shifter, in between the gear knobs, the steering wheel, where there's a bunch of dust. This works amazing. I can't even explain how valuable this tool is. There's a bunch of gimmicks online selling. Really, guys, all you need is a paintbrush. It's gonna do you wonders. So get this, uh, keep it, somewhere with your cleaning stuff. I usually buy like 5 of them and I throw them everywhere. I keep one in my car, I keep one in my garage, keep one in my basement, and I just had a newborn baby, and believe it or not, I actually dust my child off after he eats his pants and all that stuff with this too. Not the same one that I clean electronics, but for sanitary purposes, I do keep that one just for that. So what I have here is a air duster vacuum combo. I got this from Amazon. It's great. It's a very powerful unit. Has a Type C charger. These are the specs here. It's got 7.2 kPa max. It's 68 watts. So this comes with a bunch of things, guys. This comes with like a brush to clean little things. Um, and it's got adapters, for the vacuum. So, and there's like even a little nozzle here for blowing things out. It's got the double hole there. Sorry, this is for inflating rafts and air mattresses and all that too. So this can also be used for that. I'm gonna send a link for you guys in the description of this video so you can see which one I bought. This is the vacuum part with a HEPA filter. It's got some dirt in there, so I apologize for that. But that basically screws onto one side, and it can be used as a vacuum. You just switch which side this is being used. Right now I've got an attachment on this. It's got 3 settings. It's very powerful. So this is the reason I bought this, because I used to buy those air spraying cans, the compressed air. They've gone up in price recently. I don't know why they're so expensive just for air, but I find it's kind of like a waste of money for me. So I decided to buy this, and hopefully this will last a very long time as long as you maintain the battery, charge it every once in a while. And if you're doing this as a hobby, you're gonna get use out of this, so it may be worth an investment for you. So I'm just gonna turn it on right here so you guys can see. It's got an LED light. That's the first setting. Second setting, it's blowing the box around. That one there, I'm sure you can probably blow a wig off of that, off of somebody with that thing. But yeah, so this is great. I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm gonna go outside and show you guys some contact cleaners that I use. All right, everybody. So let's talk about contact cleaners. So for those of you who do not know what a contact cleaner is, it's electronic spray that's made to clean microchips and electronic surfaces, contacts that are made by solder points inside stereo equipment or any type of electronics, actually plugs and what have you. Mechanics use this too for electronics in cars. You can pretty much use it to clean any type of electronics. You just got to make sure that you Google and do some research before you spray on any type of surface or plug. um, I'm not an expert on this topic by any chance, so this is just stuff that I've learned from doing my own research. So the really popular contact cleaner that people use for vintage electronics and general electronics is the Deoxit D5. I'm gonna post a picture here for you guys of what that is. And these are some other generic contact cleaners that I've come across and I've been using more so. There's also another brand that I really love to use. It's by MG Chemicals. They have different grades of contact cleaner. I'm gonna post the one that I used here in the past, and I actually love that one, but I couldn't get my hands on it for this video. I ran out. So they actually have different tiers of their contact cleaner. Some of them are for like really high-end electronics, for gold plating and all that. Some of them do have a silicone component to it, so it leaves behind a silicone for lubricants. And then you have your grades that leave no residue and they're quick drying. Those are the ones that I prefer actually, because um, I know like a lot of people have said, and through forums when you do research, you'll see that the one with the lubricant actually coats the surface of the pot where you're cleaning to keep it from oxidizing in the future. However, there's a downside to that too, because it can attract dust and gunk into towards the lubricant and can cause problems later down the road. So I personally don't recommend the one with the lubricant, especially when, because I like to have a contact cleaner that I can use for general purpose of the entire inside of the amp. So because I spray that pretty vigorously on the microchips and capacitors, so I don't want any kind of lubricant being left behind. So this one here is CRC. It's from Amazon. It's done a pretty good job. It's a quick drying, no residue, no lubricant on there. I'll send a link for that. And this, guys, this is another good gem. I came across this for those who live in Canada and can have access to a Canadian Tire. Believe it or not, this is a contact cleaner, leaves no residue, and this is only $9.99. So the value for this and is very great compared to the Deoxit and the MG chemicals. I find the Deoxit a little bit overpriced. Some guys like to use that. They swear by it, but I I I'm on a budget most of the time, so this is what I'm going to be using today. So we'll give it a shot and see how that goes. And you can't go wrong for $9.99. The MG chemicals is sometimes around 25 to 30 bucks. So, that can be run down pretty quick. But if you have a high piece of equipment like a Marantz or like a high-end Pioneer, or, you know, just any type of amp that you have that you don't want to maybe try this product on, it's up to you, but I don't think it's going to do any harm. So yeah, let's get into the cleaning process. I'm going out of my garage. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going over the unit with a brush and just getting all kind of surface dust out of there. Just make sure you take it easy on any capacitors, look for any kind of loose soldering, and make sure that you're not aggravating it too much. I like to hit the outside of the unit just to get any kind of surface dust that's been on there, hitting the speaker terminals, the AM/FM area, and the auxiliary ports at the back. So, like I mentioned too, just when you're in here, just make sure you take a quick overview. Sometimes there's glue or capacitor leakages that's on the board that could be causing some issues too. But this unit was pretty clean overall, so I could have skipped this step, but I just like to hit it with the brush anyways. Next, I'm taking the battery powered duster and I'm just giving it a blast. Make sure you get all in between all the crevices. I'm cleaning out the dial area there. You can actually do this a little bit longer than I did, but the battery was running low on mine, so I forgot to charge it. So that should be good enough for this process here. Next step, I'm taking the nozzle attachment of the contact cleaner and I'm just lightly spraying it on some of the soldering terminals. For the capacitors, it's safe to use pretty much almost everywhere on the board. I tend to usually not hit the power supply area too much. I'm going into the auxiliary ports. Another thing you can do here is to, if you have any auxiliary wires, once you spray it, you can plug them in and out repeatedly just to kind of clean any oxidization that's been there. You can do the same thing for the speaker terminals. You can spray right in there. What I decided to do next too is move the tuner dial out of the way, just so I can get in between some areas. But right now I'm hitting the switch there, and I'm just rocking it back and forth. Spinning the tuner dial a little bit there. So there you go, I'm moving it out of the way there. Next, I'm getting into the pots. There's some openings. Once you get in there, you can see some little openings for the potentiometers. Just give it a little blast. Don't over soak it. If you do, you might be fine, but generally you don't need to overspray. I decided to hit it again. And just make sure when you're turning the knob, just go all the way to one side and all the way to the other side. Another thing when you're spraying this is make sure you do this in a well ventilated area. I do recommend wearing gloves and a mask if you can. It was pretty good wind circulation outside, so and it wasn't a big amplifier, so I just decided to make this video quickly. Hitting some more pots there. It's going back and forth. You can usually feel the surfaces inside as you're turning them. You may actually feel it loosen up, and that's how you know that it's working. Couple more blasts. Just make sure, like I mentioned before, if you have any kind of sensitive areas in the front that has digital displays, just make sure that you're avoiding those areas. This is also a no residue contact cleaner, so if you do accidentally spray into an area, it should dry up pretty fairly quickly, but just to be safe, I would avoid that. So here I'm hitting the power switch and the loudness buttons. Just kind of clicking them in and out so that the contacts within those areas can scrape against each other and remove any oxidization. Here I'm hitting the auxiliaries. I don't have any auxiliary cables on me at the moment, so I didn't insert them to get those clean, but that should remove some oxidization anyways. Just giving it a once over, and yeah, we'll just let that dry for about 15 minutes, I would say is good enough. All right, guys, so we're back. Got the cover back on. Just for those who have a similar unit, there's 2 grounding clips. I don't know if they're grounding clips or not, but they look like it. They were attached on to the body, one on each side with a wire soldered onto that. So make sure that's in, and otherwise your screw is not going to be lined up properly with that, and it could cause some issues for you there. So just remember about that. So, okay, so let's turn this bad boy on and see what we got here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Call or visit OkanEquipment.ca for more.
Looks like we've got success.
Logs crackle as you toast a marshmallow to perfection.
Balance works nicely.
Dances off your lustrous new Toyota. Nearby, a cricket chirps.
Loudness.
Or a mosquito.
Tone's working nice.
One thing's for sure, this moment isn't just a dream.
There you go. Volume's really sensitive.
It's time to get those winter tires off. You can also inspect your brakes and change.
All right, so there you have it, guys. That's how you clean a receiver. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.